Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed for Friday, April 3rd, 2020. And what we're going to do today on the program as we continue to pre-record during the stay-at-home order here in New Hampshire, we're going to do another best of to close out the week. This is going to be the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed, Volume 31, Best Arguments. The best arguments in the history of the show, Part 3. Yep, I told you we had enough to do a trilogy of the best arguments in the history of Matt Connarton Unleashed. And then when we return on Monday of next week, we're going to have an all-new show for you. We're going to do something special, and it will be 2 hours of brand new recorded audio. But to finish out this week, we're going to finish out our Best Arguments trilogy here on Matt Connarton Unleashed. I also want to remind everyone, please continue to support our wonderful sponsor, the Hop Knot, in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. They are now not only doing carryout, but also deliveries Monday through Saturday from noon to 7 p.m. So please continue to support our sponsor, the Hop Knot, at 1000 Elm Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. And without further ado, to finish out this week, here is the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed, Volume 31, Best Arguments, Part 3, to close out our trilogy, because what better way to get you through this stay-at-home order here in New Hampshire than listening to people argue with each other on the radio. Enjoy. Yes, so Facebook live chat will have to wait a moment. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, this is Father Bruno.
Father Bruno! I was hoping you would call when the Honorable Gary S. Hopper was here, but, he is also a man of great faith. But, Father Bruno, it's wonderful to hear from you. It's been a while.
Yeah, yes, but, Mr. Hopper, you say faith, but what faith are we talking about? There's only one true faith.
I believe he is a Congregationist, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, well, wrong answer, Matt, wrong answer. The real faith is the Catholic faith, and it always will be, but that's not the reason I'm calling. I'm calling because of that nasty note on the Facebook page by Peter White calling me a creepy priest.
Wait,
he's at it again, Matt.
He is? I didn't realize that. He called you a creepy priest?
Yes, in the comment section.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah,
well,
this is a man. I can't believe he's even on radio or TV or anything. He hates the priests. He hates the Catholic Church. He hates God.
Well, that's a little strong, Father Bruno. I don't know about that.
I've seen this man. This could be the nephew of Satan. I'm pretty sure of it.
Father Bruno, you are being aggressive on a level that we have not heard from you before. You believe that...
Well, I'm all hopped up, because I'm, yesterday I watched the special prosecutor.
Yes.
Another victory day for the President Donald Trump.
Well, yes, of course, but I'm just amazed. I mean, actually, the Dions are here from the Weekly Dion. I mean, do you gentlemen believe that Peter White is a direct descendant of Satan, as Father Bruno is claiming?
I don't think so. I think there's enough evidence yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I said yet, though. Yet.
Right, yes. This is quite the claim, Father Bruno. I know you're hopped up from the hearing yesterday, but my goodness.
Oh yeah, it's making me so mad listening to that senile old man.
Who?
Complaining about Donald Trump,
Oh, I thought you meant the Pope.
Probably after he left the hearing, he's complaining about Jesus Christ, too.
Wait, Bob Mueller was complaining about Jesus Christ?
Well, probably after the hearing, he's not going to do that in public,
Right.
He's got a reputation to protect.
Yes. So you don't believe that Bob Mueller
I was very unimpressed with what he said. It's a nonsense. It's a yes. It's a no. It's I don't understand. Could you repeat that? I was waiting for him to take the Fifth Amendment.
Well, there were many things that were not in his purview, Father.
I think he's losing his mind, Matt. Let's, call it what it is. The man is in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease, or dementia, or something like that.
Well, I certainly hope not, Father Bruno. Perhaps we should pray for him.
I think it's beyond prayer. This guy, he attacks the Pope as a favorite national leader. The Pope loves Donald Trump.
Well, I know, yes. Well, but doesn't the Pope also love Robert Mueller?
Not really, no. The Robert Mueller, he said bad things about the Donald. It's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, the President of the United States, you got to have respect for something. It's like... would a cardinal complain? Would a bishop complain about the Pope?
Well,
no, they would never do that.
Well, that doesn't go on at all.
It's heresy. You can't do that. And now we have this so-called respected lawyer calling Donald Trump a fraud, a liar, a cheat.
Right.
Donald Trump is one of the best human beings America has ever produced.
Clearly, yes.
The man is a pillar of decency, of honor.
I'm sorry for laughing. It's just amusing.
Daryl Dion seems to take issue with your characterization of Donald Trump.
Just slightly.
I don't know who this Dion is. Maybe he's another relative of Satan.
Wow.
Well, he does go on the Peter White show.
They laugh. They always laugh.
There is a
Satan
connection
laughs,
there. Absolutely.
too,
I do
He's
go on
down
the
there
Peter
in
White
hell.
show.
He's laughing. He's laughing all the way to the bank. All these people pretending that they're good Catholics and they're not, so they end up with Satan. They forget the teachings of Jesus Christ.
So apparently there's no middle ground here.
Apparently not. You're either with Trump or you're with Satan, who apparently is a descendant of or is related to Peter White.
And I'll be on the Peter White show tomorrow to investigate that. I will investigate that.
So you're against him. That's the way it is. That's the way life is. It's binary.
Yes, of course it is.
You're either a Republican or you're a Democrat.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
you're a Yankees fan or you're a Red Sox fan. The whole world is binary now.
Well, which team does the Pope prefer?
The Angels.
We go with the winning team, which is Donald Trump. Donald Trump now, Donald Trump before, Donald Trump forever.
Are you suggesting, Father Bruno, that like the deity, Donald Trump also is eternal?
Excuse me, Matt, you were cut out. I couldn't hear that.
Oh, I
couldn't hear that, Matt.
I thought I'd stumped you with a theological query. Are you suggesting, Father Bruno, that Donald Trump, much like a god, is eternal? Eternal, for all practical purposes, yes. I would give that a bigger yes. And, there's so many people pinning their hopes on this lawyer who could barely get through the hearing. I thought he was going to become unconscious during the hearing. It was sad. It was very, very sad to see this man make a fool out of himself. Right.
Does Father Bruno stand up on the side?
Oh, I don't think so. He's very serious about.
No, I say he was more delirious.
I mean, he's in line for a promotion. He's going to become a cardinal.
Oh wow!
I'm up for it. I'm up for being cardinal, but it's not decided yet. It's a deadlock. But I got the Pope on my side.
Wow.
He tells me he's backing me up 110%.
110%. Well, wow. It's his decision ultimately,
That's as much as you can get. It's even more than 100%.
Right. At the Vatican, you've got the extra 10%. That makes sense.
Well, people laugh. They don't understand. The Vatican, they worry about what Vladimir Putin is doing behind the scenes in his GRU. And, they're on Facebook and they're mesmerizing the average American who's got a Facebook account. It's ridiculous. The Catholic Church is the expert in mesmerizing populations. That's why we've been around for 2,000 years. Vladimir Putin, he will come, he will go. The communist state, they will come, they will go. But the Catholic Church, we are here forever.
Wow.
That's a little scary.
Very forceful in that.
You should be a motivational speaker. Jeez.
Yes, he can motivate people to turn to the church.
Or the dark side.
Well, no. Father Bruce.
There's another one, like a Peter White, or some other harlot. It seems so many guys like him, but he's going to come and go too. I'm going to be here a long time, and I'm going to meet Cardinal. I'm going to get it. I'm going to make it.
Yes.
I think I watched this movie last night. It's called Angels and Demons.
Really? Oh, wow.
Tom Hanks is in it. Yeah.
Wow.
I think this guy was in it.
These people retreat into fantasy. They forget the truth. The truth is very clear. It's in the good book. We know what the truth is. The truth is Jesus Christ is your personal Savior. And you must embrace him, or you'll go to hell.
Father, you're almost sounding like a Baptist.
Do not pass go. Go straight to hell.
Yeah.
They stole a lot of things from the Catholic Church. These other religions. It's really just Catholicism, but it's warmed over a little bit. They change one thing, or they change another thing.
Yes.
But there's detractors everywhere. We've been around a long time. We've had our detractors, in the church, but we've been here for 2,000 years. Nobody even knows how much money we got. Believe me, if I told you how much money I'm involved in this, we got many investments, from the Vatican. We invest in the good companies, General Dynamics, Boeing, Exxon, Conoco, Raytheon. We like Raytheon very much. We just bought another 1 million shares of Raytheon. And, the rest of the world, they come and go. The Vatican Church is here. It's here for now, and it's here forever. 2,000 years is a long time in a civilization.
Yeah, and I would say enough is
enough. We got the staying power, just like Donald Trump.
Yes. So Donald Trump will be with us for 2,000
years. I listen to these Democratic candidates.
Yes.
They're promising everything. They're promising 2 chickens in every pot. They're promising a car in every garage. Free medical care, free college. We're going to give the black people free down payment for their house.
Here we go.
We're going to wipe out the student debt. What is that going to cost? They don't care what it costs. These people are crazy. That's why Donald Trump's going to get reelected. They don't understand a thing.
Well, wouldn't the Catholic Church be predisposed to help out all these people that they need help? Isn't that the message of the Catholic Church?
Jeez. Well, that's the message,
Yeah,
but the message doesn't always match the reality.
Right, of course.
I don't know if you're paying attention to what's going on here. Donald Trump is president of the United States. We know what the message is.
Yeah, we know what the message is.
We also know what the reality is.
Well, that's
wow.
That is an important distinction, Father. And
your guests, they just are not cynical enough.
Apparently not.
Well, that's
the Catholic Church. We've seen a lot of things.
Yeah, and you've done a lot of things
as well. We have to deal with the worst of the worst. Like Satan. That was bad. And some of those angels. They weren't good either. We had to get rid of them too.
Right.
So, we know how to fight. We know how to fight because we've been in the trenches for a long time.
A couple thousand
and
years.
Donald Trump, he knows how to fight. He knows how to fight. He's getting rid of the socialists, the Bolsheviks, the Squad, and the entire Democratic Party. He's getting rid of a lot of Republicans, too. They're dropping out, He calls a spade. I'm not trying to sound racist here. Just calling it like it is,
We appreciate
That's encouraging.
That. We appreciate that, Father. I just realized something, though. I don't know if I've pointed this out to you before. Donald Trump himself is not Catholic. He's a Presbyterian, I believe. Isn't that an issue?
You cut out again, Matt. I missed about 5 words, 10 words there. Donald Trump is a what?
A Presbyterian, I believe.
Does he know that?
I don't know.
He's got a personal relationship with God. I can tell you that.
Right.
And he's on a first name basis with the Papa.
Oh, I didn't
really. Jesus Christ himself as well.
Oh, well, very good.
He doesn't call him Mr. Christ. He calls him, hey, Jesus. Give me a call sometime.
See, now I was raised, because I was raised Catholic, I was raised to be respectful. I always called him Mr. Christ.
I was never referred to that as.
Right.
Yeah, well, not to Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump, he cuts through the BS. You know, that's why he got elected. You know, people are tired of the BS in America. They're tired of all these political slogans, the shibboleths, the crap. They're tired of the crap. So that's why they elect Trump. He's gonna clean it up. He's gonna drain the swamp.
I was waiting for that.
He's gonna fix Washington D.C.
Yes.
You know?
He's done an
make the
excellent
world great
job.
again
Excellent
for
job.
the United States. You know, and the Vatican. You know, we're kind of teaming up with Donald Trump. You know, he told us he's going to pull us along. Yeah, we got some influence with some countries, and Donald Trump. You know, I mean, you look at Donald Trump, the man, he's a real man. That's why people like him. He's a real man. He's a masculine, right?
Right.
Handsome, successful, and totally masculine.
Totally.
Yes.
But sometimes, you know, his honesty, his directness, he's too direct, you know, so he calls the Pope, and the Pope makes a couple of calls on Donald's behalf, and Donald rewards us with a few favors, too. You know, that's the way the world works. One hand washes the other.
I can't help but wonder, Father, if you're supposed to even be telling us this.
Well, it's just between you and me, Matt, right?
Yeah, right. Well,
And the Popa.
Yeah, and the Popa. Yes.
And all the
Whoever the
radio
Pope
listeners,
is.
all the listeners on the radio as well.
Yes.
Yeah, well, no, there's not too many of those. You know, I'm a regular. I admit it. You know, I got to
Yes.
stay up really late
Yes.
to watch this on Facebook Live.
Yes.
I got to stay up late.
Yes.
But it's worth it sometimes. You know, it's worth it sometimes when I get to see a good Republican Christian man like Mr. Hopper.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yeah.
really appreciate him today and his valiant defense of the Donald, you know. But listen, you know, I'm not going to waste any more time. I know you got a lot of callers going to call in, so
Yes.
I'm gonna hang up now, and I'm going to wish you well.
Well, we wish you well as well, Father, and we're praying for you, and we hope you'll return the favor.
Okay, goodbye.
All right. Goodbye, Father. Thank you so much. Very nice. So that was,
Wow.
of course, Father Bruno Sarducci. Always nice to hear from him. He forgot to plug his show. He does his own show.
Really?
From the Vatican called Getting It Right with the Jesus.
Wow.
Yes, I think I'm
pretty
saying
funny.
I think I'm saying it correctly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Getting Right with the Jesus.
Just the right dialect.
He's always asking me to call in, but I think it's too late for me.
It must be, yeah.
Way too late.
Especially with my association with Peter White.
The devil.
Yes, yes.
Jeez.
He was really aggressive. I mean, in the past, he's called Peter a heretic, but
Wow.
to say that Peter is a direct
That's
descendant
further.
of Satan,
Right.
that seems it is a little harsh. Oh, we have another call.
Uh-oh.
Maybe this is Peter calling to defend himself. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Just another Ridley.
Oh, Dave Ridley from the Ridley Report. How are you, sir?
Oh, you know, about the same.
All right. Well, at least you're consistent.
I should have just said I was consistent.
You could have said that too. What's on your mind, Dave Ridley? Dave, are you Catholic?
No.
Okay. What's on your mind, Dave?
Yeah, the Catholic Church was the precursor. I guess it was sort of what we had. That was what we had for a world government back in the day, right?
Oh, be very, very careful. Father Bruno's going to be upset with you if you say the wrong thing. He's going to be a cardinal soon. He's going to beat the bishop and go right to cardinal.
Okay.
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street. Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed for Friday, April 3rd, 2020. And what we're going to do today on the program as we continue to pre-record during the stay-at-home order here in New Hampshire, we're going to do another best of to close out the week. This is going to be the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed, Volume 31, Best Arguments. The best arguments in the history of the show, Part 3. Yep, I told you we had enough to do a trilogy of the best arguments in the history of Matt Connarton Unleashed. And then when we return on Monday of next week, we're going to have an all-new show for you. We're going to do something special, and it will be 2 hours of brand new recorded audio. But to finish out this week, we're going to finish out our Best Arguments trilogy here on Matt Connarton Unleashed. I also want to remind everyone, please continue to support our wonderful sponsor, the Hop Knot, in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. They are now not only doing carryout, but also deliveries Monday through Saturday from noon to 7 p.m. So please continue to support our sponsor, the Hop Knot, at 1000 Elm Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. And without further ado, to finish out this week, here is the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed, Volume 31, Best Arguments, Part 3, to close out our trilogy, because what better way to get you through this stay-at-home order here in New Hampshire than listening to people argue with each other on the radio. Enjoy. I worry about Ilhan Omar's safety.
Yeah.
And I just I've been posting a lot about this on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page and my disgust with. I got to tell you, I mean, I was sitting there when I saw the video of these people at that rally chanting "Send her back," and it was a loud chant. And it went on for 14 seconds. And, of course, Trump is lying about it, saying, no, he cut it off and interrupted it. And no, he didn't.
He created it and encouraged it.
Of course, of course. And I just, one of the things I said, I don't know if I said it that night. I mean, I was just boiling with rage. One of the things I said is, I'm an independent, and I try to support independent candidates whenever I can.
Right.
But I've voted for both Republicans and Democrats over the course of my life. And I said, when I look at the incredibly meek and mild response from the Republicans, who are kind of, the ones in Congress who are in safe seats, who aren't worried about losing their next the next election, the way they're sort of very gently pushing back on all of this, I said, you know what? If this is the party, they cannot. Actually, John Hopwood chastised me for that. If this is the party, they cannot bother to condemn this strongly and forcefully. I said, I will never vote for another Republican as long as I live. If this is the party of racist, even the people who aren't racist, but they're perfectly fine with being racist enablers and racist apologists. And I hear these people just bending themselves, just tying themselves up in knots, trying to defend this and downplay it. And I will never vote for another Republican in my lifetime. I won't.
It's indefensible. You're absolutely right, and
come on.
And you're right to be.
I have news, Jim. The city of Manchester has been reprieved. The flower shop maven did not file.
Oh, really? That's
Rich Gerard did not file.
All right. We'd moved off of. I came to briefly let Matt know of my interest, and
you have a button on your.
I do, column. And we moved off of that, so to
double flags.
Yeah, in order to honor Matt's desire.
Ronald Reagan was a racist.
To not talk about local politics. So.
So you can't talk about the school board?
No. Well, we're not going to do it in this venue. I told Matt that there were trucks lined up and down Elm Street, CNN, CBS, NBC. They were all here, the BBC, and they were shouting at me.
About Richard Gerard?
No, they were shouting at me, can we do an interview? And I said, no, get out of my way. I'm going across the street to see Matt.
That's right.
I'm sorry, but somebody stole my phone. I think it was an illegal immigrant.
Yeah. Friends are
Send
friends.
her back.
You got to do the right thing. So, anyway, yeah, you're
Why
right.
Can't anybody send me back?
It is... It is a terrible thing. But I'll tell you, this morning's ceremony in Concord puts the lie to sort of all of that. It shows that there are so many decent people, doing the right thing, and regardless of the barriers put in people's way, we're still a beacon of light that people are attracted to. And it's a little sullied, I have to tell you. I think these actions do. These images we see from those rallies are not just carried in Mississippi and Montauk and Maine. They're seen all over the world. People are looking at this in South Africa, and they're looking at it in Singapore. They're looking at it in China.
And what rally?
And at a Trump rally.
So people do come. I mean, I tune in on a radio at different times.
And those. So
we aren't going to talk.
And those people who dislike us, dislike America. I can say us really properly now.
Yes,
those people who dislike us, use it to beat us over the head with, because no country is without flaws. But but in the end, I think the United States remains closer to its ideals than sometimes we fear. This too shall pass. I think that's how it is.
And what ideals are that? What ideals did Barack Obama express when he asked for $3.5 billion to send kids back, undocumented kids back in 2014? Those were the ideals of the Democratic Party at the time.
I don't know what you're referring to, actually.
Of course you don't.
No, I don't. I don't say it, of course, like I'm pretending I don't. I really don't.
Barack Obama in 2014, when there was a similar border crisis, which has been ongoing.
There wasn't a similar border crisis. It hasn't been ongoing.
Yes, there was, Jim.
Okay.
It depends on how the media spins it, doesn't it?
Oh, I see.
So,
I see.
Him asking for $3.5 billion. So, we're in, I guess, this Winston of the Ministry of Information somehow exists now, where American history, just ceases to exist when it's inconvenient. Because Barack Obama asked for $3.5 billion because it was a border crisis, and it involved the documented children who he intended to send back. And the Republican Congress denied him that. That is a fact. You can read your New York Times archives. You can actually look it up. Because the memory hole isn't there.
He is right. That did happen. I can back him up on that.
Happen.
So there have been manufactured crises from time to time.
So Barack Obama manufactured that crisis in 2014.
So
he had already been reelected.
There have been manufactured crises.
So Barack Obama manufactured that crisis.
No, I'm saying that the genesis of what we have at the borders today is based on
doesn't matter,
Trump administration policies that are causing the current problem on the southern border.
Did you have to go through an immigration process to get here?
Yes.
You weren't born in the United States.
Yes.
Did you have to? Because I lived in Monterey, California, and Carmel, which
did you have to go through an immigration process to go there?
No, Jim. I was born in the United States. I'm an American citizen.
Right.
My family.
We all are now, right, John? Right, Matt?
That's right. That's right.
Yes, Jim. Yeah, Jim. It's all funny, isn't it? My family, I'm a disabled American veteran, which doesn't mean anything to most Democrats. And if you go up to the Veterans House, which I did yesterday from my back, and if I go through the book that you can sign, that Carol Shea Porter always signed, you won't find one of your presidential candidates have signed that. In the Hall of Valor, which features dead veterans, some of them were immigrants, including one of the first that died in the War on Terror, who was from Africa. There are Latino names. You can go down to Bedford, Mass, and see the Hall of Valor of the Latinos that won the Medal of Honor, including people who are immigrants, including people that won their citizenship by serving in the military, which is a process that our illustrious draft dodge-in-chief, I guess, is denying people now. So what you're saying is because of that jerk, it is magnified the situation into a crisis with all capitals for you. But you can't deny that this was something that has happened before.
I do deny that.
Then you're wrong.
I've been wrong
false.
before.
You are actually misrepresenting reality. You're not telling the truth.
Well, no, that's not true because I'd have to know that you're.
So Barack Obama felt. So is Barack Obama a racist?
No.
He's not.
I mean, I haven't
Well, he
examined.
wanted to send people
I
back.
don't go around his house. I
Why
haven't
do you want
examined everything he
$3.5
said.
billion
I
bucks?
don't know. I don't know. I hate the equivalency. This is
Yes,
what
because you can never equip.
No.
Because that is not exactly what you do.
The false equivalency
That's
bothers
not a
me.
false
The
equivalency.
yes, it is.
How
The
is it a false
idea-
equivalency when he was in the same situation and he had the same thing as
Right.
Trump?
So no, that's not true. It's not the same thing, and he didn't. have
You
the
just
same
said
thing.
you didn't even know about it.
No, I'm
you
saying
didn't
to
even,
you.
Didn't he say he didn't even know about it? He didn't even know about something. You don't know about it, but you're going to talk about
Well,
it.
I'm saying no.
Come on, Jim.
I'd stop talking about it then. You know, if
The Democratic
I'll go home
Party.
and study it,
Why,
I'll come
why was
back
the
out.
Democratic Party for tight
I
immigration
cannot
laws?
believe we're sitting here in a studio in Manchester
And
with what's
me
going on
calling
on
you
our
out for
southern border
misrepresenting?
and people shouting, send her home. That's the news of the day. That's what's going on in our country. It's shameful.
You know what's going on?
Everybody
24
is
veterans.
ashamed of it.
You know what, Jim?
And
24
you want to
veterans
talk
kill
about
themselves
something
every
that
day.
happened.
Do you talk
want
about
to
that?
talk about something that happened
24
5 or 6 years
veterans
ago.
kill themselves
So
every day.
I call it false
the mental,
equivalency.
the mental health. There's no money up there.
Right.
The VA is being privatized, care of Koch brothers, Hospital Corporation of America, which gives gives money to Gene Shaheen. Used to give money to all Republicans. That's not. There's not money for that.
Let me just say, I don't want this to appear as though I'm like reneging on a conversation or a conflict. You know,
No, but
I'm
you know,
happy to talk.
when you
but I
deny-
do have to get
you have
out
to
of here.
actually deny
and
American history
no,
that took place
No.
because you are.
I'm
what
saying-
this jackass has done is because he's such a foul extremist. You're mirroring him now.
Right. So
you are
thanks.
mirroring.
So
We'll bring in a second caller. We do have a caller, but I know you have to take off,
I have
Jim.
to take off.
Well,
Matt,
you
thank
should
for the
be
time. I
happy by the
appreciate it.
news.
I'm going to go study it, but my phone is lighting up, so I don't know whether people are angry at me or pleased, or maybe I won the lottery. I'm going to find out.
Are you
going to
be on 7 p.m. now?
All right.
I just want to say one thing.
Yes. Oh, it's Paul Cormier.
Hey, Paul.
Matt,
Yes, Paul.
now you know what I deal with on Tuesday night.
Well, I'm moving to Wednesdays.
Right. Hey, thanks a lot, Paul. We see you. Bye. I've got to.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. I got
But see, Jim, he's.
I
I just want to say something.
have a good week,
And
boys.
Paul,
Thanks,
thank you
Paul.
for
All right.
everything,
Tomorrow
Paul.
night.
Take care.
Trump's repulsive.
Yeah. So
But you just can't pretend that it's not within the context of something.
Right. So
I mean, the man is utterly repulsive, and when this is the most senseless person that's
all right.
been in the White House.
I'm gonna leave Matt here to discuss this with you because
I want to discuss
I'm
the old witch of the West. Somebody threw a bucket of water on her, and she's melted away.
She's melting. I got to run. Listen, thank you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you on Tuesday night.
All right, Jim.
No, you
See
won't
Matt.
be
Thank
seeing
you.
me on Tuesday night. I'm at
won't-
Wednesday at 3 now.
Oh, starting this week already?
Yeah. I'm in front of Norm. You can come on.
There you go. All right, I got to run. I'll see you guys.
All right,
Thanks.
Jim.
Good luck. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate the time.
Thank you and congratulations.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
I think you're going to win.
Well,
We'll leave the people decide that.
yes. All right. Take care, Jim.
The people.
I'm just glad that he's wearing that the multiple flag pins.
You know, I'm going to tell you, mirroring Trump's not going to help. It's going to get Trump reelected.
We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Is that news? Don't you normally get calls?
We do. Yes, it is Dave Ridley from the Ridley Report.
We
How
need
are
to
you,
get
sir?
New Hampshire to secede, Dave.
Oh,
Working on it.
John-
Not doing very good. but-
John Hopwood is on
I'm
board.
not trying.
John Hopwood is on board with NH Exit.
Are you for open borders for the country of New Hampshire? I
For the
know
what
in
of New Hampshire?
in Amoskeag we're not,
No,
according to the suzerain.
that's right. What's on your mind, Dave Ridley?
Well, have you heard that? I guess Bedford has a new superintendent, and what he's on the warpath again.
Of what? Schools?
I would assume.
Superintendent of schools?
Yeah,
or
superintendent of schools.
What happened to the old one?
Was it
Oh, I don't know.
murder?
Did it have to do with there was a real kickback in Bedford over the woman, remember, who had molested a child, but she had been an employee at the Bedford, and Bedford High Kindness counselors testified for her character.
Oh, I remember
and
that.
the parents
Yeah.
went wild. You know,
Oh,
Bedford's quite unlike New Hampshire, where like you, me, and Jim were the only people talking about a similar situation here in Manchester.
Right, yeah.
They went hog wild.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Turned the city upside down. And the rape of that child, statutory rape, but not the violent rape that occurred at West High in Manchester 2015. That was in Exeter. But still, the people were outraged because guidance counselors from Bedford went and testified for her character.
Oh, yeah. Just bizarre.
Well, child rape is as we can see, the Epstein case. That's a...
Yeah. But, so tell us more, Dave Ridley.
I see Fred Boning going off.
So, can you guess what the new superintendent, a new principal in Bedford. But anyway,
is it Phil Griotto?
Guess what he's on the war? Can you guess what he's on the warpath again?
I don't know.
Sugary drinks.
Common Core.
I mean, that you would think that would be, you would expect something like that, like maybe sugary drinks or
the Singapore math,
or
Singapore math
use, heroin use or something like that. I don't know.
Boys
what
wearing
he's actually on the warpath against is parents
wearing push-up bras.
What about
underwiring? It trips off the metal detectors.
Oh, yeah.
So, we've seen women wearing bras in their gun. I mean, guns in their bra.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking about bras?
I like that. I think it's hot.
Too hot.
Well, what do you mean, Dave? Please expand.
99 degrees hot.
So I guess what he says is, there are a lot of parents here who are trying too hard to help their, things go well for their students in school, and they're snowplow parents. They're doing too much.
Yeah, that's the latest thing about leveling.
Snowplow parents. Yeah,
we saw that in California.
He's condemning his taxpayers, basically.
Right, because it puts minority students and POC students at a disadvantage, because it's a known fact that middle class parents of any color, they talk to their children more, they get more involved. That a poor child hears like 2 million words less than when they go to start school. And the hearing all the talk, being talked to by parents, being taught things, helps develop the brain and its ability not to learn. And that is now, in the Orwellian world we live in, that is wrong. I saw this all in California. They get rid of leveling, and because there were certain segments of the population that it's demonstrably true cannot function at the same level. Then they had the thing where in the Hayward schools, where they had the story in the San Francisco Chronicle about a POC student who was a D student, but then they reconfigured the class so that they were white, Chinese, and they got rid of all the tracking, and the whole class takes the test. And they said, well, this kid went from a D student to an A student, and this is published without irony. That's actually it. And rather than addressing the fact, what would lower the scores of a poor kid or a POC kid who's poor, I think it's a form of PTSD, a complex PTSD because once I started getting it, my IQ drops drops 100 points. You just can't function.
Right.
But rather than do
Makes
that,
sense.
it's like this fantastic Stalin-esque leveling or something. It's bizarre.
This is the first time, by the way, I've heard that term, snowplow parenting. Is that what it is?
I've never heard that either, but snow being white.
Yes.
And white people are evil. That's what we're learning from the Squad.
Oh.
Isn't that it?
I'm sure
isn't that what's the truth? They chisel off the Puritan at Yale from the facade because people are being upset by it. Of course, Yale was founded by Congregationalists. All public school systems come from, the low church, non-white light Protestants like Congregationalists, because that was part of their tradition. And that's in the Constitution. That's in the Articles of Confederation, that every state that comes in has to have a public school system. Because to a Protestant, but an anti-establishment Protestant, one against the Church of England, just as the Church of England broke off from the Catholic Church, and in many ways mirrored the Catholic Church, except that the king was the head, not the Pope, the king or the queen. The Church of England was similar, and they were all sorts. So you had the reaction, the dissenters, who were the Puritans. Came to America, They just, the South was settled by, was differently settled, as Maryland was the only colony with Catholics, and Pennsylvania originally was Quakers. But New England so dominated the country at one time, versus Virginia also, the great slaveocracy. But the ideals, free speech, John Milton, a Protestant divine, a Puritan. The only reason he wasn't executed after the English Revolution, he was Cromwell, who had deposed the king and killed him. Parliament beheaded him. He was a Protestant divine, and he was his Latin Secretary of State. He wasn't murdered because he was one of the greatest writers. He wrote Areopagitica. Areopagitica is a pamphlet, an argument for the free speech, free licensing of pamphlets by nonconformists. That is the basis of the First Amendment, plus the Glorious Revolution of 1989 and what would be called the Bill of Rights. That was brought to America.
So does that kind of sum up what's going on in Bedford, Dave?
No, but the thing is, Bedford's a place that comes from that type of thing. Education.
That was 6 degrees of separation at the end there, probably. But I don't know.
The point is,
with regard to the snowplow parenting, I'm sure
public
that
education
there are
is a cultural thing. That's what I'm saying, and it will reflect the culture.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I was just saying, with regard to the alleged snowplow parenting, I'm sure there are cases where parents do too much and they're harmful, in the process of trying to move their student along faster than others or whatever. I'm sure that it can be abused.
John Stuart Mills.
It's like anything else. Once there's some new thing you're not allowed to do, the government starts to see it everywhere, and those schools are the government.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you use government too broadly. That's the problem. The point is that the public schools in America were a reflection of low church, non-white light meaning non-evangelical Protestants. And the reason was because every male had to be able to read the Bible and interpret them for himself. And many women did too. Literacy in Massachusetts in 1800 in the state of Connecticut, which was primarily Congregationalists at the time, and had established churches too, congregational churches, it was almost 100%. It's never been reached again. But the idea was, rather than a priest reading the text and interpreting for you, like I asked my mother, did you ever read the Bible? She said, we had Bible stories. The priest told us what it was. Yeah. And in many ways, it's probably better. But let's not get into that.
Right,
because it was one thing when you had this consensus, but then everything fragments. And the evangelicals have quite a different way of thinking. You got to remember the Civil War is a reflection they call it the Cousins War, of the war that happened in 1640 in England. Cavaliers and Roundheads. The South becoming the Cavaliers again. And they were defeated by Greater New England. The North overwhelmed the South in the Electoral College by 1856, 1860, because it just, with its industry and everything, and the immigration, Irish, Germans and all that, it just outstripped them. And it gets power. And so they seceded. Yeah. See, that's history, but nobody wants to know history. They want to pretend the world was created right now.
Right, yes. Anything else on your mind, Dave?
Nothing to add.
All right, give the Ridley Report a plug before you go, please.
Get the secession rolling.
RidleyReport.com. I ambush interview politicians.
Yes, indeed. And you do it well. All right, thanks, Dave.
What good does it do?
All right, bye-bye. All right, so to the discussion earlier.
Well, I think that you're mirroring Trump, and you're doing exactly what he is. Saying that about it's Friday, it's hot. You're a Yeti, and attempting passing.
We have another call.
And you're scratching.
Busy day today. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, Matt. This is Karen. How are you?
Hi, Karen. Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm just calling to talk about the snowplow parenting, and what it actually means is just like those actresses that paid for their daughters and children to get into colleges. That's what it means. It's parents that will at any cost push any obstacle out of the way for their children to advance.
Oh, okay.
I really don't think it has anything to do with politics. Half the time, Mr. Hopwood, I can't follow what you're saying anyways.
Well, it does do with politics, doesn't it?
It's parents that just want their children to get ahead, and they have the money to do it. They'll rewrite their essays and everything. They're clearing the way for their children to succeed.
Oh, okay, great. Well, thank you, Karen. Yeah, I hadn't heard that term before today, but it certainly makes sense.
Well, in California and other places, the criticism is of anything.
Yeah.
You're giving them an unfair advantage. And that I voted in California in a proposition to keep affirmative action, which lost. And
let's ask Karen. Anything else on your mind, or what was it? Just that?
Nope. That was it. I just wanted to elaborate on what that was because it really didn't have anything to do with the government. It's the parents themselves.
Gotcha.
And
all right,
of course,
all right, Karen. Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
You got it. Bye-bye.
But see, what she's saying is not true because schools are in our Constitution. It's in the Articles of Confederation. It was in the Northwest Ordinance. That was the first act that Congress passed after the reconstitution, the creation of the United States under the Constitution.
I think she was just talking about what that specific new term.
But everything's
I assume
political.
It's new.
Sex is political. Homosexuality is political. Gore Vidal. I suggest that she read Gore Vidal's articles from the 1970s when the gay rights movement was new. About sex is politics. I think he has an essay that's called that.
Yeah.
Everything you do is politics. When the government goes until Griswold versus Connecticut, 1965, which was brought up by none other than Romney during the 2012 debate with Obama. And I turned to the people from the New York Times who are younger than me and says, they're talking about abortion. They didn't know that. That you had to know. Griswold v. Connecticut. Until the court created the right of privacy under the doctrine, there's a penumbra of privacy rights. Umbra penumbra. That is Justice William O. Douglas, backed up by the super chief, Earl Warren, and there were bumper sticks, impeach Earl Warren. The reaction of Trump is a reaction against the Warren Court. They are the ones who desegregated America, ordered the desegregation. Never quite really happened, though. Everything's politics.
Sure.
Under Griswold, before Griswold versus Connecticut, a married couple in Connecticut. We're not talking about, the Peckerwoods in Alabama, who you could actually shoot black folk, even in 1979, when my father was living in a gated community in Birmingham. And you could not get a condom unless you had a prescription, unless the doctor allowed you to. A condom.
Wow.
A prophylactic. Let alone an abortion. Roe v. Wade comes out of Griswold. It comes out of a doctrine of privacy that many people on the right, and I'm sure many people on the court as constituted, believes is a fiction. That doesn't exist. Because if you remember the Bork hearings, chaired by Joe Biden, who borked Bork.
Yes.
Along with Ted Kennedy, because Joe Biden was a Ted Kennedy liberal. Although people now want to pretend he's a racist and some type of horrible reactionary. They want to rewrite history. And those who don't know history repeat it. Because you're re-electing this jerk. But everything's politics. Dave, in his way, is right. When somebody, a principal, is starting to talk about it, because snowboarding, there's just like there's a penumbra of privacy, metaphors. Language is based on metaphor, thought. Substitution of one thing for another. I studied semiotics. Had to. Defense Intelligence Agency had us do it. Literature is about that. What things really mean. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
It's all the advantages of the wealthy. What about being able, when I was a kid, people sent their kids from the Bedford parents could enable their kids to take SAT prep courses. My father was gone. My mother hadn't gone to college. She'd been through high school. She didn't know, she didn't know about the stuff. Yeah. And we didn't have the greatest guidance counselors up at the West Side High.
Well, I want to get to this don't
get to what?
Don't shoot the messenger, because I agreed with you. But Fred put this in the Facebook live chat. This goes back to what
Did he pick it up off the internet just now?
Well, I would assume. So he said, John's not right. The Central American Minors Program was an American immigration policy established by the Obama administration in November 2014. The program allowed lawfully present parents in the U.S. the opportunity to request a refugee or parole status of their children residing in the Northern Triangle, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. The combination of being a transshipment point and the increase of gang violence in the Northern Triangle caused its region's insecurity.
What is he talking about, the Northern Triangle? What's the Northern Triangle?
That is El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras.
This was at the border.
Well, hang on. There's more.
Texas.
So among other countries in Central America, the Northern Triangle's gang violence is ranked among the worst in the world. Due to an influx, this gets to what we were
and Trump never talks about gang violence because I guess it doesn't exist anymore.
So this gets to what we were talking about before, though. Due to an influx of unaccompanied minors entering the U.S. from Central America, and I remember this.
Entering the U.S.
Yep, and being victims of violent crimes during the journey, the Obama administration initiated programs that partnered with Central American governments to combat the violence that influences minors to migrate to the U.S. However, the violence in the Northern Triangle only escalated in 20... Hang on, almost done.
I'm going to go get some water.
Only escalated in 2015, prompting the Obama administration to expand the Central American Minors Program in 2016.
Now we're in 2015, so he's just expanded beyond.
And then Trump ended it.
That's rhetorical prestidigitation. We're talking about 2014. We're talking about $3.5 billion to send those kids out of the United States. Why doesn't he limit it to that? Why doesn't he address it to that? It's in this context, but 2014, and the Republicans denied it. I mean, everybody wants to cherry pick and that cherry pick.
Well, no,
everything.
he's talking about November of 2014.
He just went to 2015 in that article.
Right. Yes, going forward in history.
But
this started in 2014.
Yeah. Where's the 2014? As for the $3.5 billion to send the kids back.
Yeah, that part's not in.
Because he's not addressing it, just like Jim did it.
Yeah, you and Jim really got into it.
Well, when somebody, I consider that a form of prestidigitation. And I got to go get some water because it's hotter than hell in here.
All right, we do have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's your old pal.
Hey, Fred.
John, what I was saying was actually Obama left a lot of the children stay here. A big portion of them stayed, and that's what he got the money to do.
Fred,
he wasn't using the money to ship them back.
Fred, before you go any further,
he created a program for it.
Fred, before you go any further, I should just tell you, John just got up and left the room to get a drink of water. So he's not. I think he knew it was going to be.
Okay.
He knew it was you.
So how are you?
And...
we can talk about chewing tobacco while we're waiting.
Did you ever do that, or have you ever chewed tobacco?
I did for a very short time when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
And
when you were 9?
Yeah, I used to go skinny dipping with Bonnie Bakley too. The woman that the guy from Beretta killed. She was like my best friend.
Really? No kidding.
Yeah. She grew up in my hometown. We used to go skinny dipping all the time.
Oh my God. Oh wow. What's that actor's name? Robert Blake? Is that him?
Yeah, Robert Blake.
Yeah.
And he murdered her. Not that she didn't, create enough heartache in his life and wasn't a grifter. I mean, she was always a grifter, but
yeah.
But he did kill her.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
He's in prison for it, so
John is returned, although his microphone is drooping.
John,
well,
what I wanted John to know is that the money was actually used to help keep.
What money? Because
he let a lot of kids
the money.
in. He didn't deport the
He didn't get the money.
Unaccompanied children.
He didn't get the money. Congress didn't give him the money.
Yeah, they got some of the money. He didn't get all of it, but they got a whole bunch of it because they just created another program to do it.
Send us that. He wanted to send kids back. He wanted to repatriate them. Barack Obama is not.
Built a program, and
Barack Obama is not Donald
minors.
Trump. The Democratic Party was for strict immigration. My God, Cesar Chavez, the first interview I ever had, and I can tell you the whole interview, was with Jerry Brown, because I was working with the United Farm Workers, helped a strike in 1980, because I was in Howard Zinn's class, and he sent us out to do something. And there's Jerry Brown, threw his hat in the ring, because Jimmy Carter was so weak, but Ted Kennedy really didn't want to be president. And this was in a crush of people in Boston. This is the extent of the interview. First interview I ever had. And I've been interviewing them for years. The United Farm Workers are in strike. Jerry Brown turning his hatchet face to me and his intense eyes that remind Torquemada of Dostoevsky's Grand Inquisitor. I support them. That's the entire thing. Cesar Chavez, a saint in American labor, whose name adorns streets in San Francisco, Los Angeles. He was against illegal immigration. Do you know why, Fred? Because it depressed wages. Because in Los Angeles,
you're talking about 2014.
Because in Los Angeles, the custodial unions, which were primarily African American, had if you use the current inflation, they made about $20 an hour before the union was busted by the importation of illegals, or whatever you want to call them, undocumented. The boom in San Diego, Pete Wilson's hometown, illegal, undercutting the wages of union employees. Pete Wilson used to wave the bloody shirt. Do you know what that means? That goes back to the Second Cousins War. First being 1640s in England, Civil War, War of the Rebellion. That means when they tried to have, when you had the Yankees, the North was reconstructing the South, the Night Riders, the Klan, used to take people out and whip them. And one Republican congressman, because the party of Lincoln was the party of African Americans, through Eisenhower, at least, who first president since that era to get 2 civil rights bills through in 58 and 60 with LBJ's help as the majority leader of the Senate. Weak bills, but weak nonetheless, to get African Americans the ability to vote in the South, them being Republicans, and primarily there. He waved the shirt. It's called the race card, waving the bloody shirt. So Pete Wilson would always be blaming illegal immigrants, as he called them, from Mexico for all the ailments. And that got him elected senator, U.S. senator. And then, since the governor of California is more powerful than any U.S. senator, he used it to become the governor. And he used all his powers to make sure that that pool of illegal labor was always open and always available. Because that's politics. That is when Homo sapiens sapiens, according to Julian Jaynes in The Origin of Consciousness and the Overthrow of the Bicameral Mind, which he claims was a development of the brain that occurred when there were mass migrations in societies smashing into themselves, that the difference between the Iliad and the Odyssey is in the Iliad, everybody they say is literally true. They are talking to the gods. That's the way the brain was structured. But when you get to the Odyssey, when you get to brave Ulysses and his tales, he has learned something that other people haven't.
About 2014. Stick to the subject, all right? We don't need to history
Ulysses
lessons.
knows how to lie.
Stick to 2014.
Why don't you? Yeah, because do you know what? Do you ever hear of George Santayana? Those who don't know history are condemned to repeat it. If you don't know human history, which you're
I'm just
denying,
trying to correct
people
a
can
statement
lie.
you made,
Homo
John.
sapiens.
I'm just trying to correct the statement.
God save us, the true believers. You know, you were a Republican. You know
I
what?
guess this is
Ronald
filibustering,
Reagan
right?
was a racist. Did you vote for Ronald Reagan? He started his campaign in September 1980.
Well,
after the convention
in
Philadelphia,
you should
Mississippi.
let Fred answer if he voted. You asked him a question.
Did you vote for Ronald Reagan? Did you support Ronald Reagan? He was a racist.
Oh, I know. Probably I was too.
I know. Do you know who died in Philadelphia, Mississippi? 3 civil rights workers.
But what does
Everybody
that have
knew
to do
that.
with
What does that have to
2014
do with
when you were saying that
What does
it's
that
about
have to
a
do with
specific
it, right?
topic, John? John, let's just stick to that topic, okay?
What does
Just
that
let
have to
Timmy
do with
just
it,
do that?
Fred? You supported the racist president. Didn't you? With your free will, you voted for somebody that went to Philadelphia, Mississippi, notorious, and gave a speech on states' rights, which is a code for
I used to listen to Rush
segregation.
Limbaugh, too. You know, I mean, you want to say that.
Segregation.
I did.
You supported the
I was a
racists.
Baptist missionary, too, John.
You
I did
supported
that
the
too,
racists. Yeah, the Southern
but,
Baptists.
you know, John, but let's
Southern
stick to
Baptists were
2014, because that was
were
the topic.
so wonderful, you know, when it came to race relations.
I think what Fred is trying to tell you is that he has evolved, and he's not the same person ideologically that he was back then.
And were you a bad person then? Were you evil?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you were evil.
Now
You were
that
just a
I
human
look back at
being.
myself, yes.
You were just a human being.
Yes, I believed a lot of things that were totally not true, John.
Well, you're a
I
true-
did.
you're a true
I
believer.
really did. I've had a lot of epiphanies
God
in my
save
life,
us,
John.
the true believers.
A lot of them. That's
God
why on the
save
radio
us.
show I call myself your most humbled host.
Oh, we
Because
just have
I've
we
been
have a humble
humbled a
host
lot.
here that decided not to run for office, but we can't talk about that. I'll talk to Matt, give Matt the details afterwards. Because there's a backstory. My thing is, human beings lie all the time. In California, what do they call it? The Bradley effect. Oh yeah, we're going to vote for Tom Bradley, who was African American. Then they go and vote for
What are you doing?
People
So,
are human. This jerk, the things he says.
You're
and
referring.
then everybody reacts.
You're
to
referring
it.
to Trump, just to be clear, not Fred.
Fred's not a jerk. I agree with 99% of what he said. Just like with him. It's just this jerk. It's like he's mesmerized Matt, where Matt, it's like Matt's falling into traps that you used to criticize because you're outraged. This guy is a real.
Of course, I'm outraged.
Ass.
Yeah.
But not all Republicans are evil, and that's ridiculous.
I never
John
said
Huntsman.
I never said
John
all
Huntsman,
Republicans were evil.
When I met John Huntsman, I love Ronald Reagan. You think I busted his balls, his stones or whatever? If you're going to have to edit that.
No.
The TV's not on?
You can get away with that.
I didn't bust his bones about supporting a racist. I don't know if Ronald Reagan was a racist. I know he used racist tropes, and George H.W. Bush used them very effectively against my candidate, Mike Dukakis, and everybody talks about how wonderful George H.W. Bush, that absolute P-R-I-C.
Let's bring Fred into that because he might not realize what you're referring to. So, Fred, I made a comment on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page that because of the incredibly meek and mild response from the Republicans in Congress, those who are in safe seats, who don't have to worry about upsetting the MAGA people and losing, I said that because of that, because there's so few of them who are bothering to speak out about anything, I said I'm never voting for another Republican because to me this is a party full of racist enablers and racist apologists who don't even have the stones to call Trump out on anything. I mean, instead they spend a lot of time equivocating and obfuscating and sort of, just twisting themselves in knots, trying to excuse this kind of stuff. And I said, if this is how it is, I said, I'm never, because I'm an independent and I voted for both Democrats and Republicans. But I said, I'm never voting for another Republican if this is what the party is. And so that's what John was commenting on there. But I'm curious to know your thoughts.
I feel that I'm the guy that started this whole discussion the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I said if you continue to support this man, then not only then you become a racist because you support someone who is clearly. It would be like saying I support David Duke and then saying, but I'm not a racist. Mm-hmm. It would be that obvious.
And there's no difference. There's no subtleties, right?
It's when you don't call him out. I mean, if you said David Duke's a racist and he's a no good person, but I like the way he runs the budget.
So Donald
Trump something different.
Has made statements equivalent to David Duke that blacks are animals and mud people and they should be thrown out of the United States and we should have a white people's country. He's made those statements.
No. Not exactly.
You mean Donald
what do you
Trump?
mean not exactly?
Yeah, he did say I'm a nationalist. That was his dog whistle.
Who cares?
And he's the guy who was the one who started his first. Oh,
I'm
John,
a nationalist.
John,
he said I'm a white nationalist.
John, let Fred finish.
But a white but it's bull. Did he say white nationalist?
Yeah, actually, Trump has said that.
Show me.
Or he's a fan of white nationalism.
I don't believe that.
No, he did. He did.
You show me that. Show me that in a reputable source. Show me that in something that's reputable and backed up.
Okay, John. I don't know that he said. I'm going to say that because I try not to say things that at least I don't have a source for. I'm not sure that Donald Trump has ever said he was a white nationalist. But the very first time he showed up in the New York Times was when he got sued for discrimination. That was the very first time Donald Trump's name ever showed up in the New York Times. He and his dad got sued for discrimination. He's also the guy who went out there and put, the Central Park 5, right? He is still to this day not apologized for saying that they needed to be executed, even though they were exonerated with DNA and everything else.
They are oversimplifying. And
they have the guy that did it. He couldn't find that.
So Mayor Bloomberg's a racist because he would not settle that case because you're oversimplifying the exoneration. But let's just say Donald Trump. Let me ask you something.
They found the guy who did it. They found the person who did it.
They found one of the persons that did it. There was multiple semen in her, wasn't there? They found one of the people.
They didn't find any of those kids. They didn't find any of those kids.
You know, DA and evidence is very funny because I know a person that was involved in the OJ trial.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, let's go because you know about.
Well, you're going to say now that these guys weren't innocent, that they were guilty. They were coerced into it. They all admit that everybody it came out that they were
Fred, this is what I know.
into their explanation, and now they're little young kids.
If a meme if a meme is on the media, you're going to trumpet it, right? You're going to conform. What you tell me, Fred, from Reagan, you conform then to the Reagan thing. Now you're conforming to this that comes out of the mouth of the media. Because life is not simple. Politics, all that is not simple. My criticism is you're going through life now looking at a hood ornament when you're driving a car. Because this is just a show that this jerk has been staging, abetted by a advertising-fueled media that wants a freak show because it gives them ratings. And we're all supposed to... I'm not joining in on a freak show by this guy. I've already got my freak on personally.
Ooh, you got your freak on?
When you're going to talk about Fred Trump being sued for redlining, that probably included 100% of all landlords of that time. Those were new laws, anti-redlining. And I'll just remember one thing. The Democrats created the anti-redlining legislation. They created banks that were funded that were supposed to give credit to African Americans. Ron Brown, that was his path to power. Ron Brown, the Commerce Secretary of Clinton. And guess what? He was indicted, if not indicted, accused of redlining against blacks because he used the capital elsewhere. Because you want to know something? What I found out in life, you're from Africa, America, any place, any color. You're just a regular person. People are the same.
Let Fred get in.
Jesus, but it's all out of context. It's like society doesn't exist.
Let Fred respond.
It's a narrative.
Go ahead,
These
Fred.
are narratives. They're push-pull narratives.
Yeah, let Fred respond before we run out of time.
Jeez,
Go ahead, Fred.
It's not real.
My question is, again, when two wrongs obviously do not make a right, not saying one was right or one was wrong. One is racist. Maybe the other one was racist too. But one clearly has,
yes.
and the people closest to him, once they're not under his little spell, they all admit that he's a racist. They all say it. And unless and a racist only has to believe that your specific color or race is better than someone else's.
Right, he shuns black people. He doesn't allow black people in the White House. He doesn't have black people in the cabinet, right? This isn't Ronald Reagan either, who didn't even know the one black person that was in his cabinet.
How many black people are in the cabinet?
Well, you tell me, Fred. If he hated blacks, if he was a white nationalist, if he was David Duke, would there be any? Would the woman that's saying he was a racist, who's got a book to sell, would she have been there?
Omarosa?
Would Kim Kardashian's husband be there? Would he be pardoning black people? Would he be pardoning Jack
because
Johnson?
You have a black friend, you're not a racist.
Would he be pardoning Jack Johnson?
Is that the excuse
you know what,
someone
Matt?
says, well, I have a black friend?
Yeah.
What we're saying is,
he's David
maybe the
Duke.
reason why
It's simple what you're saying. It's not giving cognizance to the way life is really.
When John's there, because he never stops talking at all.
Well, you're saying such stuff. But what Matt once said, ever since I met you, is that people calling everything's racist, which I called you a racist once when I was hot in the collar. Which we worked it out because you didn't. We were arguing about something. I had something coming at you. My number one thing is I'm a racist because the allies of a particular flower pot maven took some typo I had, and that's the number one on my Google feed, which is leading into a lawsuit now, which might be one of the reasons Jackass isn't there. The point is, when you start everything's racist, Matt, you said this, it just becomes nothing. When you call Joe Biden a racist, is Joe Biden a racist?
Would I call Joe Biden
a racist?
Not in my opinion.
I don't know. He's probably done
stupid
things that didn't help black people. I'm sure
I don't know. He's a racist. Let's call him a racist. That will help. That will help certain candidates. It's a rhetorical strategy, Fred. People that will say anything. That's why we go back to the evolution of consciousness and the brain and why people lie. People bamboozle each other. Do you know what the oldest profession is, Fred? Prostitution. So the second oldest profession, they say, is a politician, which is true, because that comes out of the pimp that was her procurer. The first thing you find out about politicians or being politicians is lying. Have to lie. Play act.
By the way, I want to get this in, and I want to do it while Fred's still on the phone. I just want to correct myself. Trump did not say white nationalist. He just said nationalist.
And that is a thing.
That's what I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So if I say I'm a nationalist and I'm for the United States and I'm for a secure border, I'm a racist, right?
Well, and the president...
If I'm against illegal immigration, I'm a racist. You would have agreed with what I'm saying with before you got swept up in this. And that's true, because we can go back.
No, the context that Trump said it in, though, he was talking about, oh, yeah, they keep calling me a nationalist. I'm a nationalist. Yeah, I'm a nationalist. But what they really keep calling him is white nationalist. So that was his way.
He's an idiot.
That was, well, I know that.
You're talking about a boob that has everybody mesmerized and is going to get reelected. This guy is a master of slod media. You couldn't get Patty Chayefsky, who won 3 Oscars, the great satirist. He wrote Network in the Hospital, but Network, the great satire about the media. He couldn't have friggin' dreamed this up.
We're almost out of time, but I want to make sure that Fred has a chance to respond to anything or react to anything.
Last word, him.
Yes. You got the last word, Fred.
Okay, all I wanted to say was that in 2014, actually, they created a program to help these kids, and that a huge portion of the unaccompanied minors actually were allowed to stay, some of which was because of George Bush's original law in 2008.
Yes.
That's what I was just going to say. It wasn't like he was trying to deport all these children. Actually, they were trying to find a way to stop them, and there was very few. And now, John, I'm going to tell you this, and these are facts that are very much checkable. In 1986, there was 1.6 million people apprehended at the border. They had a budget of $145 million. That's $90 per person. They are up to $13,333 a person now. If you could take the full budget amount of people that they're apprehending, there's less than 600,000 they'll apprehend this year because the number's already dropping off like crazy because it's hot. So this is not about Mexicans or Guatemalans. This is about for-profit prison. That's
right, it's all about that.
Money.
That's everything about that. You know, Fred, why is it that I feel like in 20 years after the military coup, because this jerk and the extremism and the polarization that's approaching France at the end of the Fourth Republic, you're going to have a different story because that's the reality being spewed out by what we had before one of our shows.
No, we're just talking numbers, John. I'm just talking numbers.
Aldous Huxley.
Numbers, money, numbers.
Aldous Huxley.
They just put $9 billion on the border. They put $9 billion on the border to deal with 600,000 people.
Right, because no Democrat would ever use a process to loot. Like LBJ, he didn't create all those programs after, the signing of the Civil Rights Act of 64, which all the big bosses, the Democratic bosses in the cities hated. He didn't do that all to create his own patronage system so he can ensure him a way around the bosses to get the nomination in 68. No, it was all from his good heart. Good heart. Oh Jesus!
All right. I don't think any of that money. I think they did a better job in 1986 on a budget of $145 million because whatever they were doing then, we didn't have prison, we didn't have kids in jail, we didn't have all this stuff, and they had less money. But now they can't manage these people, and actually, I have friends there today at the border.
How do these
kids
get here?
They don't manage them very well for this huge amount of money.
If Trump, I wouldn't be surprised if there were agents of Trump and the Democratic Party down there spurring this on. It is a political and rhetorical strategy, and it is working for both sides. The extremists on the right and on
making
the
money
left.
on it. Somebody's making money on it.
Yeah, see, MSNBC, it helps their ratings, although I guess CNN is tanking.
Well, maybe not that's not the money that they're getting that they just gave the NBC's not getting any of that.
Oh, yeah, and all you do-gooders asking for money. That's all from the goodness of your heart, right? Like, we can talk about the veterans. What was that? The Wounded Warriors Project that Trump, when he gave the money, it was revealed what a friggin' corrupt utterly corrupt organization that was.
Yeah.
I mean, people are doing this all out of the goodness of the heart. It's not that they're living, right? They don't make a living out of this.
All right. Well, we are out of time. So, Fred, thank you so much for the call, my friend, as always.
No problem, boss.
All right.
Have a nice night, John.
I always
do. Bye, Fred. All right. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed for Friday, April 3rd, 2020. And what we're going to do today on the program as we continue to pre-record during the stay-at-home order here in New Hampshire, we're going to do another best of to close out the week. This is going to be the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed, Volume 31, Best Arguments. The best arguments in the history of the show, Part 3. Yep, I told you we had enough to do a trilogy of the best arguments in the history of Matt Connarton Unleashed. And then when we return on Monday of next week, we're going to have an all-new show for you. We're going to do something special, and it will be 2 hours of brand new recorded audio. But to finish out this week, we're going to finish out our Best Arguments trilogy here on Matt Connarton Unleashed. I also want to remind everyone, please continue to support our wonderful sponsor, the Hop Knot, in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. They are now not only doing carryout, but also deliveries Monday through Saturday from noon to 7 p.m. So please continue to support our sponsor, the Hop Knot, at 1000 Elm Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. And without further ado, to finish out this week, here is the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed, Volume 31, Best Arguments, Part 3, to close out our trilogy, because what better way to get you through this stay-at-home order here in New Hampshire than listening to people argue with each other on the radio. Enjoy.
Let's talk politics.
No.
I'm going to try to get in the conversation with you.
Well, I think we actually have a call.
All right.
So maybe
it's Scumpy. No, you know what? I bet you it's Eric Gagnon checking in.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, man, Mike Doyle.
No, it's Mike Doyle.
Mike Doyle, ladies and gentlemen.
How you doing?
Good.
I wanted to check on to see if you're all right. You were getting a little ripped up. Hey, Paulie, how you doing?
What's going on, my friend?
I got in the car and I turned on the show and I heard it sounded like Connarton was going to blow a blood vessel there. He was ripping it up pretty good there, and so I wanted to make sure he was all right. That's all.
I'm all right.
What happened? Talk about what happened. I was at work still. What happened? Why were you about to blow a gasket?
Well, he was jumping on the Trump statement, which was fairly idiotic, and there's a lot of representatives are saying, why are you going after the small fish? But they seem to be getting under his skin because he likes to be patriotic, and of course he's this gang of four, which are doing one thing and saying the other. And the only difference I have to say about what you were saying is you kept saying, don't let people, do what you feel is right, and you were saying show what you think is right.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? These ladies, three of these ladies out of the four we're talking about that he was addressing, voted against we're only out of four people who voted against that bill to add extra money to the crisis at the border that came out a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And Ocasio-Cortez was the one down at the border throwing, yelling fire in a movie theater, yelling. They're making them drink out of toilets, but that's unfounded. Nobody's been able to say who said that, if it's true. And they're putting in cages, and they're living despicable. These places are 300, 400, 500 times over capacitated.
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5, I should say, not 3, 4, 500. Over capacitated with what they're trying to do down there. It's overrun, and they said forever it was a crisis, remember? And everybody's saying, Trump's making it up. It's not a crisis. Well, now that it's a crisis, they're going down to the border. She was on camera saying, they're making them drink out of toilets. It's a concentration camp, la-da-da-da-da. But she voted against giving extra money for extra beds, extra toothbrushes, extra food, extra water. So, she's got to put her money where her mouth is. She can say one thing.
Yeah. Well, like I said the other day, Mike, I'd like to know what else is in that bill, because there tends to be a lot of things packed into these bills. But yeah, I do think that I will agree with you that some of the rhetoric, I think, has been a little overheated, and her comment about, people drinking out of toilets and whatnot, I haven't seen that substantiated anywhere either. So I do think you have to be, someone like her does have to be a little bit careful, because if you say something like that and you can't immediately back it up, then it can damage your credibility a little bit.
Right.
But DJ,
it's like saying, Matt, could you take in 3 refugees next week and help them out for a couple of months till we figure out where they're going to go? And then 2 days later, Matt, can you take 3 more? Matt, how about 5 more? 15? We just need, and Matt's going, hey, slow down here. I can only take so many before I run out of the ability to do it the right way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a tough situation. These people are trying hard at the border, and there's people saying, they're not, and they're putting them in cages, and they're mistreating them, and these people all have kids. These are families. These are men and women who have families. They're down there trying to do the best they can. And these people are throwing stones at them, saying they're drinking out of toilets and they're in cages. But then come time for the money, we're voting against giving any extra money to the border bill to help out these children and stuff. And I don't know, you can understand what I'm saying. It's just a little doesn't excuse what Trump said. Believe me.
Okay.
He picked the wrong fight. He picked the fight of a low-level hanging fruit instead of going after something that's more important. Because these girls are just they're just. I don't know. It's almost like they're trying to make noise. It's almost like they're trying to be bold. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think.
Don't forget Ocasio-Cortez called Pelosi a racist last week.
Well, I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to make noise and trying to be bold. That's kind of what I was saying earlier. But so Mike, though, do we agree that what Trump said was wrong?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that. And I'm one of those, I'm a Trump supporter, but it's just stupid. The thing he said about McCain, stupid. The thing, he's an idiot when it comes to opening his mouth and saying stuff. He's a genius when it comes to running a country. I know people don't want to hear that, but look at the numbers.
No, that's okay. We like hearing it. Little humor.
The numbers are the numbers, man. You can't dispute. Unemployment levels. Everybody's working.
Yeah,
people got money in their pocket.
Trump's a lucky guy.
And it's all thanks to him.
Trump's a lucky guy. He inherited one hell of an economy. I give him credit for being lucky.
Yes, that's true.
I could send you facts that just prove that. So if you want to look at them, I'll send them to you.
Thanks.
All right. Anyways, just want to throw that in there.
Oh, Mike. A question. Did you hear anything from? Because I heard the morning show, and you very kindly offered to buy EZG breakfast. Have you heard from him?
Yeah, I haven't.
No.
I was around the whole morning in my home office, and I didn't hear anything. So he could be up at Cagnan Mountain. There may not be his telephone up there. How do you know?
That's right.
Who knows? Who knows what?
Yeah.
Oh. Who knows? He could be on a sailboat in Bermuda right now.
Ooh.
How do you know?
I think he's actually having a good time. I think he's with family right now doing a summer thing. I honestly think he's fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Right. Out by the lake, laying by the lake, not listening to radio, not listening to anything. So, who knows?
No.
Anyways, Matt, good show as usual.
All right, Mike, thank you for the call.
Yeah.
Take care, Mikey.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Mike Doyle, and of course you can often hear Mike Doyle on the morning show. He was on this morning, and it was very nice. What was that? What's going on over there?
I wasn't over here.
Oh. Mike very kindly offered to buy EZG breakfast and, make sure he's doing okay, and even gave out his number on the air. his cell phone number. But
wow, really?
And then his phone kept ringing, but it turns out it wasn't EZG.
Wow.
But
give out your phone number on the air.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, but yeah. So I hope he's. It's just weird. It's just weird that.
Let's call Eric right now.
I don't have his number.
Can we call out?
I don't. Oh, I think we're getting another call in. Maybe this is EZG.
EZG.
Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's the anti-Mike Doyle call.
Yes, Fred. Fred Bonick from the
You
Daily
knew it was
Ripple.
coming, right? You could. I just. Somebody needs to fact check that boy.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. First of all, the economy. Donald Trump has made less jobs by millions than in his first 28 months than Barack Obama did in his last 28 months.
Mm-hmm.
By millions. I mean, literally, at least 1 million less.
Right.
All right. So the unemployment has moved 1% under Donald Trump. It moved 5.6% under Barack Obama. So, it's always about, well, it's at the lowest. Well, what was it before he started?
Right. Right. Yeah.
That's an important part that they do. The other thing about Donald Trump and his geniusness, I don't know where to begin on that one. But we'll go with the women that he obviously, because Mike has an issue with probably mouthy women, because Lord knows they shouldn't have a right to speak, and they're not well educated, and they're not actually right because they actually are right.
He didn't
go and check their facts.
Well, he didn't quite say that. Just to be fair to Mike, I mean
they're just trying to be noticed or something. I think that was his.
I think loud and bold is what he said.
Yeah, that's it.
Which I think is a compliment.
I think it's a compliment too, but I don't think he meant it that way.
He didn't mean it that way in this context. No, but
right.
Yeah.
And again, that was a racist thing. Donald Trump is a racist, and anybody who still supports him is a racist. And no kidding, because if you still support him,
hey, dickhead,
that's an old stripe.
Hey, dickhead, my sister supports Trump, and she's not a racist. So why don't you shut the F up, okay? If anybody doesn't agree with what you have to say, then they're lesser than you. Why don't you get off the phone and go away? You are a moron, and I hate you the more I hear your voice. You sound like a tool who sits there and doesn't have a girlfriend. And whoever doesn't believe in what you have to say, you know what? You anger me. And I want you to come down to the studio right now so I can introduce myself to you. Okay? Why don't you come down here?
But I live in Pennsylvania.
Fred, why don't you come down here?
And I'm not
Fred, why don't you come down here?
Why don't
you come down here, Fred? Fred, why don't you come down here? I'd love to meet you, boner. Fred Boner. Why don't you come down here?
Fred's in Pennsylvania.
I don't care. I'll buy him a ticket.
Oh my!
I'll buy you a bus ticket, a plane ticket.
Hey, you want.
You are a moron. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what you have to say. You're a moron. You have a blanket opinion. No, I don't care what you have to say.
Well,
I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter. Why don't you get out of here? Why don't you get lost? I'm sitting in the studio. I'm not in Pennsylvania, moron.
Well, you gotta let Fred respond. But although what's funny
don't, Matt.
What's funny though is you guys probably agree on pretty much everything politically.
I probably do, but I'm not going to sit here and call. Anybody a racist who doesn't believe in the same things I do. He's a nitwit.
No, I'm not. Oh, I don't care what you believe. I'm saying if you still support what Donald Trump does, which is obviously racist,
you're a tool.
Then that makes you a racist.
You're a tool. You're an absolute
tool. I may be a tool, but I'm probably not the tool you think I am.
Why don't you go down? Why don't you go downtown and pick up some homeless people and let them go live with you, Jesus? I hate you. I really have hate in my heart.
It doesn't matter to me. You think
you're a holier than thou moron. You're a holier than thou moron. That's it.
That may be. That may be. But I'm right on this.
Oh, so what? Go away. What? That people are racist because they believe what Trump believes in?
That people who still support him as he endlessly spews racism
You're a
and
dick.
has been proven to be racist.
You know what?
Obviously are racist if they continue to support him. If they speak out and say, no, this is not allowed, then maybe they can prove that they're not racist. But if they go along with it, then that's, it's the same thing. That's how
Fred,
it works.
you've
if you
convinced
continue
me.
to support the guy who's doing racist things, that's what you are.
You've convinced me. You're a dickhead. You've convinced me.
Well, Mike Doyle.
Well, that's great.
Mike Doyle did say he didn't like Trump's comments.
Sure, absolutely.
Right.
But he
if you still
didn't
continue to
say
support
that he
this
was a
guy,
racist.
As he does these things, that's the point.
Right.
Fred, come on up to Manchester. I'd love to meet you. We
I'd
should
love
discuss.
to come up
we
to
should
Manchester.
discuss
Why?
this in person.
You think you're going to kick my butt?
No,
is that your
I'm
goal?
not a
Is that what
violent
you're saying, my
person.
friend?
I would love to meet you in person.
It'll be funny the next day how that'll all turn out for you.
I would love. Why? Well, how would it turn out, silly? What are you going to
Well,
beat
you'll be
me
like
up?
beating up. Here's how the news will handle it.
You're going to beat
and
me
I'm sure
up?
because unlike you, I actually do the news.
Uh-huh.
So here's what I'll do. It'll come
what
out
are you
like
gonna
this.
do?
You beat up a 60-year-old handicapped
Beat you up. What
gold
is this
star
beat you
dad.
up?
That's how it'll go.
What is
I mean,
this
that's how
beat
it's
you
going to
up?
go. That's how they're going to see it.
I would just
That
love
you
to.
didn't
I would
like
love to see what a
because
retard
you
looks in
threatened me
person.
on the air. That's how it's going to go.
Threaten you on
You're
the air.
going to say that, right?
Threaten you on the air? How is
that what you're going to say? I mean, is that what you're doing?
How is wanting to meet you in person threatening you on the air?
Well, no. I'm just saying, is that what you want to do? You want to beat me up? Is that your goal?
No. I would love to meet you in person and discuss this with you and see what a
Oh,
genius
I'm
looks
sure
like in
that's
person.
what you would like, and we're discussing it now, but you keep telling me to shut up. So that logic isn't going to work.
Yeah, no. Not wanting to talk to you on a radio show and meeting you in person to see what a genius looks like who
You can
gives
go to
a
my
blanket
Facebook.
opinion.
It's up right there. I
who
got
gives
plenty
a
of pictures
blanket
of me
opinion
with
and calls
everybody that
people-
you've never met.
What? I'm sorry. What? I can't hear you. You're babbling now. What?
Oh, you got something in your ear? Your finger?
Yeah, I got my finger in my ear, Fred.
That's
No,
not me.
I
I'm
would
speaking
rather.
clearly. Are you not speaking clearly?
I would rather discuss
Don't you love this, Matt? This is
in
what makes
person.
good radio.
I
I
would
do.
rather discuss this with an idiot in person than on a radio show who says whoever
Well,
believes
then
what
look in the
Trump
mirror.
believes
If you're
is a
looking for an
racist.
idiot, look in the mirror.
Oh, yeah,
it's that
there you
easy.
go.
It's simple. You just
There
go
you
to the
go.
mirror and say, "Oh, I want to see an idiot," and magically it'll appear.
That was good, Fred.
It was.
That
I know.
was
I'm
good.
pretty
That
good at
was
this. I've been doing
funny.
it for 22 years, so keep going.
That was good. You're a journalist?
I would say I am if I'm in the
Wow.
top 30,000 of all
That's
websites
good.
in the
So
U.S.
what are you doing sitting on a couch right now listening to a radio show?
I'm not sitting on a couch. I'm in the backyard talking to my chickens.
Oh, well, that's great. They listen to the radio show
At one
with
of my
you?
many homes. How many you got? You got 4? I got 4. You got 4? Come on, let's go for it.
Got 4
Let's tell me
what?
about me.
You got
Let's
4
tell
what?
me about
4
me.
chickens?
Tell me how wonderful you are. Let's talk about you. Tell me about what you are. Your achievements. Tell me your achievements.
My achievements?
I've been retired since I was 41. How long you been retired?
I'm not retired. I'm not an old fart.
So that means you're just a guy going to work every day.
That's right.
But I'm the idiot. All right.
Why? Is that a bad thing
Keep
that I'm
going.
a working class
Keep
person?
going.
Are you knocking down
Go
people
for it.
who
Come
work,
on.
genius?
Impress me. Impress me with your stuff.
I don't need to impress you, Fred. You're a loser.
I know, but you wanted to tell me about it in face to face.
I'm
an idiot.
Fred, I don't want to meet you in person to try to impress you. I just need to meet the kind of person who decides that
Matt's
everybody.
met me. Ask
You see,
him.
you don't
He knows
even
I'm
want
a
to
nice
let. You don't
guy.
even want to let me talk. You're an a-hole.
I got to vouch for Fred. He is a very nice man and very
Well,
smart.
Yeah, well, why doesn't he let me talk then?
Well, actually, you've been talking more than he has.
Why does he not let you talk when you're talking?
Oh boy.
Yeah, but when I
That
try
was
to
fun,
talk,
huh, Matt?
when I try to talk, you talk over me.
Well, we are out of time.
Well, there, Matt. We ended a good one. Thank you. And have a wonderful day. And one day I will come up north and I will meet you, and you can get your picture with me.
I can't.
How's that?
I can't wait. I can't wait. Come on up, Fred. It'll be fun.
I'm sure it
You
will.
and I can have a nice long discussion, maybe over a pizza or some chicken.
No, I'm a vegan. I don't eat pizza.
Figures.
Yeah, it figures because it's actually a good
Have
way
a
to
nice.
lose
We'll
weight,
have a
so.
nice big bowl of lettuce. Okay, buddy.
All right, buddy. Well, Matt, all I can say is
all you can
just let them
say
know,
is
you know,
all
if
you
they,
can
if
say
they
is that
continue to
people
support
are
this guy,
racist.
they will be considered
Racist. Yeah, they're gonna burn in hell if they support Trump. Thank you. Go away.
No, get a tattoo that says it. All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a
That'd be
tattoo
good.
that says
One on your arm
Fred.
says MAGA. It'll be easy to spot when the left takes power.
Right.
Oh,
All
my.
right. Have a nice one.
All right, Fred. Thank
Goodbye,
you.
Fred.
Thank you for the call. All right, that was we're actually off the air live. I had to switch it over, but it's still recording. I didn't want to end that prematurely because that was great stuff.
Sorry, man.
No problem. All right. Well, we got to go. We're out of time. We're over time. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed for Friday, April 3rd, 2020. And what we're going to do today on the program as we continue to pre-record during the stay-at-home order here in New Hampshire, we're going to do another best of to close out the week. This is going to be the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed, Volume 31, Best Arguments. The best arguments in the history of the show, Part 3. Yep, I told you we had enough to do a trilogy of the best arguments in the history of Matt Connarton Unleashed. And then when we return on Monday of next week, we're going to have an all-new show for you. We're going to do something special, and it will be 2 hours of brand new recorded audio. But to finish out this week, we're going to finish out our Best Arguments trilogy here on Matt Connarton Unleashed. I also want to remind everyone, please continue to support our wonderful sponsor, the Hop Knot, in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. They are now not only doing carryout, but also deliveries Monday through Saturday from noon to 7 p.m. So please continue to support our sponsor, the Hop Knot, at 1000 Elm Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. And without further ado, to finish out this week, here is the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed, Volume 31, Best Arguments, Part 3, to close out our trilogy, because what better way to get you through this stay-at-home order here in New Hampshire than listening to people argue with each other on the radio. Enjoy.
Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Yeah, Matt, this is Bruno Sarducci, Father Bruno. You remember me, right?
Oh, of course.
Speaking of expletive deleted hole, post holes.
You're my favorite priest.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that. But I don't think I'm winning any contest with Peter White.
Oh, poor Peter. You priests are so
Peter
wicked.
White. He's a little confused about the Catholic Church. But, I just want to call you, Matt,
about his
because,
sexuality.
here at the Vatican, we're glued to TV watching the debates, Mm-hmm. And Donald Trump, he was a big winner in the debates. He won them both. Won them both. Didn't have to say a word.
Is it already 2020?
Not quite.
How long was I in jail?
Oh. So I have to say something, Father Bruno, in defense of Peter White. The last time that Peter White was here on the show and you called, you did refer to him as a heretic. I think he might have taken that a bit personally.
Exorcist 2.
Yeah,
with Richard Burton, I was the heretic.
I hope he did take it personally, because when he called the priest a creep, I took that a little personally myself.
Well, he didn't call you a creep. He said there was a creepy priest when he was growing up.
Yeah, but you know what he meant, He never came back into the church. He's blaming them all. He's painting us all with a big brush. We're all the same. We're all creepy. And
you wear
he's not going to come back to the faith. But I think there's hope for you. I think there's a little hope for you.
All right, so you're still holding out for me to come back. I did think about it.
Yeah, you need to come back, Matt. You need to come back and feel God.
Oh.
You know, and I've been waiting for your call to my show, Matt, Get Right with Jesus.
Yes.
And I don't remember any call from you.
Well, it is an international call. I mean, you're in Rome. I mean, that's, is there a way I can Skype in or something, or does Jesus not?
No, we're not in Rome.
Oh.
Rome is not, we're in the Vatican. It's a separate country.
Right.
We have a special U.S. embassy here in the Vatican. It's a small, though.
Is Newt
tiny,
Gingrich
actually, but,
ambassador?
The Papa, he talks to the people, and he talks to Donald Trump sometimes too. Donald Trump is a big fan of the Pope.
Yes. Well, they're both infallible. Jenny in the Facebook live chat says, "No hope for Matt. He is dating a Jew." LOL.
Yeah. Well.
Jesus
was a Jew, but he crossed over a little bit, He started the whole thing, the whole Catholic thing.
Oh, my God.
And so maybe there's hope for your girlfriend, maybe she's going to cross over too. She's going to become a good Catholic girl.
Well, we need to get her to call into your show then and get right with Jesus.
How's Calista Gingrich doing as
ambassador? Everybody's got to get right with Jesus because Jesus, he's watching everybody. He's watching everything you do, Matt. He watches. He knows what's going to happen. He can tell the future. He knows the past, and he's controlling everything. And if you want to live forever in the kingdom of God, you got to get right with Jesus.
Oh,
see, the thing is, every organization needs a little money, so you got to give Jesus some money every Sunday.
What about Newt Gingrich?
That's the collection plate. Every organization's like that. We got an overhead here in the Vatican. It's not free to run this big cathedral. You've probably been here, and nearly everybody has.
Yes. Well, John is asking something about Newt Gingrich?
His wife, Calistro, or whatever her damn name is.
Callista.
Is the ambassador to the Holy See.
Oh.
Since she's married to the multiple divorced Goneth, to use a term from Yiddish.
Goneth. Well, that sounds like a mean word, whatever that means.
Thief.
Oh.
Yes, Newt Gingrich. I've never had the pleasure of talking to the ambassador. I didn't realize she was that close to a political figure in America, but he is disgraced. He's a disgraced political figure. And I'm going to have to talk to the Pope about this because maybe we need a little better ambassador here, somebody that has shown better character. But, things are different these days. You can be married 2 or 3 or 4 times now. Not in the eyes of the church. If you're Catholic, you can't do it. But we believe one man, one woman. That's the motto here in the Vatican.
Yeah, but you can
one
get
man,
marriages
one
annulled,
woman.
right? That's the scam.
Marriage forever.
Yeah, John is saying, but you can get marriages annulled, right?
That's the scam. It's like my
you
cousin.
got to pay a lot of money for
her
that.
husband divorced her, then gets it
It's
annulled.
kind of a side deal that we started about 9 centuries ago.
It's a loophole.
You got to. If you're right with Jesus, we look at it, but it's not easy. And I'm going to tell you, it's not cheap.
Oh, that's what I've heard.
What rhymes with
Yeah,
loophole?
you got to pay. You got to pay. Every country, you got to pay. That's the way religion is. In every religion, every organization, Matt. You know this. The world don't run on good works. The world runs on money.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but the world runs on money. You need money to get anything that you want, and if you're going to spread the good news, it takes some money. Even the Catholic Church. Have you been to our website at the Vatican?
I didn't know you had a website for the Vatican.
Oh no, it's a multi-million-dollar website. We got the best. We got the top people. Putting that website together. And you can go to me. You can press many different buttons. You can hear the Pope talk about anything.
Wow.
But lately, he likes to talk about Donald Trump, and the good things he's doing for America.
Hey, he's
I'm on the
alleviating
committee.
taxes.
We get to decide what the Vatican invests in. We got an investment portfolio.
You're tax-free. So not paying taxes brings us closer to God.
Oh.
And that's Trump's genius, you know. We need more tax cuts to make us more godly.
That makes sense, yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
To get right with Jesus. Well.
Yeah.
What's the
but,
sovereign debt of the Vatican?
This guy, I don't know him. Who is he?
Oh, that's John Hopwood.
He's a Protestant.
Yeah.
None of your
that
bull
guy.
works on me.
Yeah, the short one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I think he insulted me the last time.
That's
what happens on your show. Everybody insults me. I don't understand why. They insult me. They insult the church. It's very disrespectful.
I think I'm.
But that's America these days, right? Everybody's insulting everybody.
I think I'm pretty respectful, Father Bruno.
Well, that's your opinion, Matt.
Well,
I know you didn't get right with Jesus. You told a bunch of stories about how you strayed from the church. That doesn't sound like you got too much respect for the church.
Well, you guys got to fix some things, I think.
What are those buttons that are...
the buttons?
Yeah, can you, hit the button and...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we got... You can hear the Hallelujah chorus on one of the buttons. It's a really good rendition. And... we got a lot of things going on, but...
Do you have a happy hour at the Vatican?
Let's get back to the debate. Do you see the debates, Matt? Do you see the debates with Kamala...
Harris?
Tamara, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think we pronounce it Kamala because Kamala was
that makes it sound more Muslim.
Well, Kamala was also a wrestler in the 80s.
And she was born in some Muslim country, wasn't she?
According to Don Jr.,
not
I think,
Kenya,
yes.
Though.
No, not Kenya. That one's that's been taken. But I did see the debates. Yes, I do enjoy the debates, Father Bruno.
Nasty woman, that Kamala, nasty woman, saying bad things about the President of the United States, showing no respect.
Oh.
No respect. And she thinks she's so special. I watch her. I don't like it. She's insulting the former vice president, calling him, she practically calling him a racist, right?
Well, she did say that she doesn't think he is a racist, but then implied that he is. I think he's a good Catholic, isn't he?
Yeah, in her twisted up mind, if you talk to a racist, that makes you a racist.
Well, yeah. I think...
I mean, that's the way she looks at it.
Right.
And, everybody's, clapping and applauding. I didn't get it at all. And she got no respect for the elderly people like Joe Biden.
Her and Swalwell there saying that Joe
Swalwell.
He's a young congressman who thinks that it's time for the older generation to pass the torch.
Okay, so there's no camera on me, right?
There's the wide shot.
The little guy's complaining again because he doesn't have no camera. I get it.
Well, he is a Protestant.
Shameless exhibitionist.
I don't want the
that.
camera on while I make my obscene gestures.
Does the church frown on that kind of exhibition?
These messages
Father?
failed to send.
Yes, yeah. You don't see the Pope going out there wearing no baseball hat. And he's very thin, the Pope. He's a very thin man,
Yes.
He eats moderately. And, I can see that Mr. Hopwell is not exactly starving to death.
I thought you didn't know who I was. Who is this?
It's Father Bruno.
You sure it's Father
Bruno? This is Father Bruno Sarducci from the Vatican.
Sounds a
but
little
listen,
cute.
I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. I'm just calling to tell you that Donald Trump exceeded all our expectations about the debate, and he won both debates, hands down. If these Democrats want to, I added it up, man. I added up how much money they want to spend.
Yes.
You sound like
it was like $5 trillion a year. Free college, cancel the debt, let the immigrants in, give them a place to stay. You think the Vatican would have any money if we did things like that?
Is there a tuition to attend seminary?
No, there's no tuition. It's a meritocracy. Only the best get to go.
Oh, okay.
It's absolutely free.
Only the most godly.
I think he's
you
watched
gotta
too
pay
many
later. You got
Scorsese movies.
at the parish. while you're young, before you're priest, then you got to put something in the collection plate. It helps,
Yes.
You put a lot of money in the collection plate. We take a second look at you.
Right.
Yeah. You might make the big time. You could become a brother. You could become a nun. Or, like me, you could become a priest. And by the way, I'm still up for cardinal. That hasn't been decided yet.
Oh.
It's a deadlock. It's a deadlock.
Right.
So I'm still in the running.
Headlock.
But, this could take years. I talked to the Pope about it. He said, Bruno, this could take a long time. These people are very stubborn.
Wow. Well, it'd be a shame if your competitor had some sort of accident.
You need to raise more money.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. Things could happen,
Right.
Stuff happens.
God could strike
he
him
might
down.
have an accident. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But don't blame me if something goes wrong. It ain't me. I never did nothing wrong.
That's right. Of course.
I just, I just want to move up a little bit. Get a little promotion. You get a better room if you're cardinal. You get a better room.
Can I ask him?
And you get a driver.
The priest, the question.
Yes.
The Monsignor, whatever his rank is, sergeant or staff sergeant, whatever. Do you?
This one is worse than Peter White.
Do you enjoy wrestling with your young parishioners?
That's it. Cut the mic, Matt. Cut the mic from that guy. Just cut him off. He's got no respect.
Who do you think is more of a heretic?
Where do you find these people, Matt?
Who is more of a heretic, he or Peter White, in your opinion?
He sounds like he's been hitting that Sacramento
I don't know.
line.
It's all I can't tell he's a heretic, but he's got no respect. I can see it. I can see it in his tone and that smear on the Facebook page live. He just smears at the Catholic Church.
My mother was a Catholic.
He thinks he knows everything. Usually.
So you do wrestle with your
young people with a lot of
parishioners.
confidence, but they're ignorant.
You're
ignoranti,
wrestling.
That's what he is. He's a member of the ignoranti, but he's got a lot of confidence and ignorance. It's not a good combination.
What a character,
of life.
Matt! A wrestling defrocked priest. Wouldn't that be a character
he's
for
smug.
wrestling?
He's smug. He's condescending, just like you, Matt.
It's been done.
There's been a
my work is
wrestling
cut out for me.
priest?
I don't think trying to save people like that's not easy.
I almost said the S word.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
There's been a
Too
priest
much
that
of
was a
but
wrestler.
listen, you watch the debate.
The ultimate
You got to
entertainment.
admit, Matt.
Better than
you got to
boxing.
admit, Donald Trump won both those debates, right?
Oh, clearly.
Is that the way
yes.
you see it?
He likes wrestling too, Donald Trump.
Yes.
Big fan of wrestling.
He's in the WWE Hall of Fame in the celebrity wing.
He was going to. He challenged Hillary Clinton to a wrestling match.
Yes.
Unfortunately, one of the other things she just couldn't deal with.
That's right.
Her problems with the patriarchy
Okay.
are monumental.
He's a talking nonsense, like most of your guests, Matt. He's a talking nonsense. But
He's
listen,
a
let me
talking-
just leave you with this.
Where did you get the terrible
Kamala
accent?
Harris, she move her up in the polls.
She move her
she's
up.
like a 17%, right?
Right.
Oh, Hillary?
No, Kamala. She got a big boost from that exchange with Biden. That really helped
Yeah,
her.
she's like a 17% now. But
Humped her?
Donald Trump is a very solid 43%.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
true.
so I don't think Donald Trump's got anything to worry about with Kamala the Tamil. You know what I'm saying?
Well, especially with Jesus on his side.
She's a Tamil? She's from Sri Lanka. Was she born in Sri Lanka?
I'm not sure.
Matt,
He just
cut the
called
mic
her a-
with that
he
guy.
just
You
called
know,
her a Tamil.
It's not funny anymore, Matt. Just cut it off and dismiss him. Okay?
Why are you
listen,
priests
listen.
such
I got a
bullies?
meeting I got to go to. I can't spend any more time on this. You got your guest. He wants to talk a nonsense, so you can talk a nonsense
Go have
with
some
him.
more of that
but
rosé
not the Father
wine,
Bruno.
buddy.
Goodbye, Matt.
All right. Goodbye, Father Bruno.
Did
Thank
he
you for the call.
Kamala Harris a Tamil?
I don't know what. I couldn't tell.
Well, I thought she was part Indian, subcontinent Indian, wasn't she? She might have been born in, Pakistan or someplace, secretly. We could be the first people to put that out.
I think someone already beat us to that sort of broader concept that she might not be an American.
When did they beat us?
Are you serious right now? Because you haven't been watching the news? Do you not know about the Don Jr. thing?
No, I haven't really watched
You really
anything.
don't know? Oh, yeah. Don Jr. already a couple days ago
tweeted something out about. No, I am,
because I'm just making this up.
Oh no, this really
so
happened.
That was your reaction. See, I don't know. I've been following stuff.
Don Jr. tweeted something out. This article claiming that it's the new birtherism, claiming that Kamala Harris isn't actually American, wasn't.
I bet it's true,
and isn't eligible to run for president.
He is the son of the first magistrate of the American Republic.
Well, that's true.
How could he, he can't lie.
He ended up deleting the tweet because I think somebody got in his ear and said, hey, dummy, she's not the nominee yet. Wait until she has the nomination before we go full racist on her.
How is that racist?
He's doing the same thing that they did to Obama with the birtherism.
Well, we're talking about nationalism.
And it's not even true.
How do you know it's not true?
She was born in Oakland, California.
Oh, was she?
Yes.
Another place, which is even more remote than Honolulu.
How is that?
You don't hear about
Hey, be careful. You know who lives in Oakland is MC Hammer.
Need I say more?
You're going to get us in trouble all over again.
If it was the Oakland Hills...
Oakland Hills?
That'd be one thing. Yeah.
All right.
You know, the Marines had to invade Oakland in 1998.
They had to invade Oakland?
On the orders of Jerry Brown when he was the mayor of Oakland.
What, he send in the National Guard? Or you mean they literally sent Marines there? I don't remember this. Are you serious? In 1998?
It was what you call an exercise on how to seize a city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in case, then Jerry charmed Oakland. Just when he charmed California again, kept it out of bankruptcy.
Oh,
it's a very nefarious tale. And Kamala Harris was the lover of Willie Brown, the mayor of San Francisco. And he was the mayor. He had a hat that said the mayor.
I remember Willie Brown, but are you serious?
Oh, yeah. They were lovers.
Really?
Yeah.
Lovers in a dangerous time. Are you
Willie
just
and his
making this up?
Brioni suit. No, that's well known.
That's actually true.
Yeah, she was, Willie was a star. Mm-hmm. He's head of the assembly, then he got term limited, then he became the mayor.
Yeah, I remember Willie Brown. He's dead now, right?
I don't know. Is he?
I think so.
Is he?
Well, but he lives on in our hearts.
I'm still angry with him, but, that's a story from Matt Connarton, uncut.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have your heart set on Kamala?
No, I have my heart set on a free sub.
Oh, right.
What does this mean? But I got to go because I don't want to get an unfree ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Free sub excludes extras. Does that mean, you don't get a bun or anything?
No, I think it means if you say, I'd like extra tomatoes, they say, no, sir, you shall have the requisite number of tomatoes and no more.
You've always got sex on your mind. Tomatoes, all that stuff. Oh, God. But
I don't think
is it rutting season yet, or is that October?
Is it what?
Rutting season.
Rutting? What does that mean?
When you're going to be rubbing your rump up against the pine trees and stuff.
That's a terrible stereotype.
Yeah, it's so funny how those Yeti stereotypes are so very real.
Yeah, no. That's deeply hurtful and cruel,
Oh,
and very un-PC.
You've become a damn liberal. We want the old Matt back.
Right.
Whoever that was.
Right. Who was that anyway?
Well, he had more hair before the mole thing.
Why are you wrapping the cord around the headphones?
Well, I really can't.
I've literally never seen anyone do that before.
Oh, Matt. You're such an anarchist at heart.
I suppose
so
I
would you like
am.
me to sing a song before I leave?
Oh, certainly.
And they called it Yeti Love.
All right.
Adios, and I don't celebrate the 4th of July.
All right. So
I celebrate Canada Day, which was yesterday.
Oh. Well, that's why you should make friends with Chris James. I told you, he's Canadian. You guys could sing together. You could do a duet. It would be wonderful. All right, John Hopwood leaves us. He is not celebrating the 4th of July, but he leaves in his dungarees, as they say. I've never seen him in jeans before, I don't think. Apparently, he has been doing actual manual labor.